Well, hello. Welcome to Chapter 23, World's Longest Suicide Note. I'm Roger. I'm suicidal. Um, yeah, I am. But I am not a mental health advisor or practitioner or therapist, or I'm not a, you know, acupuncturist or any kind of server whatsoever. Okay, yeah, I'm a little on edge because we're going to talk about something that I suck at. 100%. And that's asking for help. I don't like asking for help. I never have liked it. And it may stem, in thinking about it, um, I've really had to rely on myself throughout this. It started early in life. I didn't mention, I didn't talk to anybody in my family about my mental health struggles early on because I didn't want to burden my family with uh, that news. Plus, I had an uncle who was dealing with their own mental health crisis, and I was terrified that that's what I was turning into, and so I chose to keep it to myself, and from that point I've relied primarily on myself as support for my life, and I don't recommend that. I recommend asking for help. I recommend receiving help at every stage of life. I recommend that because I know how challenged I am in asking and receiving help. It's something that I suck at. I've moved on a few occasions in my life, and I've never asked anyone to help me move. My thought process was, at the time, it's like, well, if I have a friend who's willing to help me move, well, the last thing I want to do is ask him to help me move because he's a good friend and he's willing to help me move, and so I'm going to honor that by not asking him to help me move. It's a jacked up thought process. It's wackadoo. But it's me. Now, believe me, I would never wish that on anybody. I mean, I think that it's really hard to get through this life without any help. And I've had help. I mean, I have grudgingly accepted help from family and friends. But it's never been easy. When I was a younger man, and everything still worked, I was, there was probably some pride that went into that. Oh, I can't because I'm a man and I have to grunt and bang my chest and I have to do it by myself. But I mean, I've passed that a while ago. I don't. My ego is in check now, and it's not an ego thing. I know for a fact that I'm not. It doesn't hurt my pride to get some help. It's just that I don't. I still. It's something that I don't like doing. And I get it. You don't have to like it, but you have to do it. So I understand that. And in a pinch, if I'm being pinched, I may ask for some help to either, stop pinching or to continue. And maybe a sexy pinch. Yeah. But I know how the world works and how the universe works and what. So by me saying this, there's going to be a time when I'm going to need help, and I'm going to have to ask for. I mean, it's going to be contingent on me asking for help. And I don't like to do that. And again, I don't want to make it sound like I won't accept it by any. No, I just don't like asking for it. I will allow someone to help me. I have a disconnect. So I do think, and I haven't really spent a lot of time going down that road to see, why, let's answer this question of why I can't, or why this is an issue for me. I guess I could ask somebody, but then I'd have to ask them. At the end of the day, it's less a matter of why as is it a possibility that it will happen, and I want to really make that clear. I do have the ability to accept help and appreciate help and benefit from it without so it's not I'm 100% against any kind of help whatsoever. I'm just really bad at of asking for it, and knowing that knowing that and being suicidal, there's going to come a time where that's going to be critical, and I have to be aware of that, whether I like it or not. Sometimes the only way forward is by asking and receiving help, and if there's any justice in the world at all, at some point you'll be on the other side of that, meaning that you will be able to provide help to somebody who has asked for it, and you'll be able to do that for them, and help them move to a place where then maybe they could help someone else. So I do see that the importance of the help, and how by asking for help it puts you in a position to also be of help at some point. And I get that and understand that, and I actually love that. I don't think that there's any better way to pay forward what someone's done to you than to do it for someone else. And so I love being of assistance. That makes me feel good. And so I'm really I love being that on that side, on the helping side. So much so that I really hate being on the asking side. So, but it's all part of the same thing. So I have to be better at asking for help, and then accepting it, and allowing, because when you ask for help and you accept help, you bring someone into your life, and you share something. Whether that's words or experience or whatever that is, it opens you up to sharing that with someone else. And that's very important, because that helps them as well. And again, the whole idea is for that process to continue forward. So I just wanted to let you know that it is important. And I validate that importance, that because we all need help. We all need help, and I would hope that you're able to do that, for to get help for yourself and to help whatever situation it is to get a better resolution, because then that makes us better, more able to carry that forward, and then at some point repay that. Yeah. So, especially when it comes to the mental illness side, because part of it maybe is that I don't know if I want to open a door that hasn't been opened yet. There's a lot of unintended consequences when you're dealing with psychology, any psychology. And maybe this is another reason for me to be reluctant, is because I still haven't worked through all my stuff. I mean, there's always things that are not fully resolved, and when you open a door and you're not really sure, sometimes those things have a way of meeting you where you are, whether you're ready for them or not, if that makes sense. So, and these are not, I mean, you're not asking for someone to help you open a jar of pickles, or teach you how to water ski. You're dealing with life and death issues, with what's going on between your ears, and there's a little bit more. I don't want to say shame, because there should be no shame involved, but it exposes you to saying some things that most people don't have to worry about saying. They don't have that level of, or that dimension of difficulty going on between. I mean, everyone goes through hard times, but when you're talking about depression, anxiety, and killing yourself, that's a different story, and that requires some endurance, some longevity, and you just can't just open it up to somebody and say, yeah, I'm thinking about killing myself. Well, that's not something that someone's going to be able to talk you through in 7 minutes. That's going to take some real concerted effort and mindfulness as far as that. And so when somebody brings that to your attention, well, it kind of puts a weight on your response, and then how you're going to deal with that. And I never wanted to put someone else in that position where now they're responsible for me and getting the services that I need to survive. That's a tough place. It's a tough place to be in. So I've always been very aware of not burdening someone with that if it wasn't absolutely necessary. And at the end of the day, it's not super necessary when we have the services that we do now, thankfully. A person can advocate for themselves and go to see a doctor or therapist, and then go down that road. There are those things available, without having to ask anyone for it. So if that's you and you're in some kind of crisis right now, and you don't like to talk about it, and you don't like to burden anyone else, call 988, or if there's a local number that you can call and talk to somebody, or go to the emergency room if you are in danger, of harming yourself. Take the initiative. I mean, that's what they get paid a lot of money to do that, and so it's kind of their responsibility to do that. So you don't. I mean, if you don't feel like burdening someone else, which you're not doing anyway, believe me. But I know that what we tell ourselves. The whole idea is it's something that's important, and I need to take it more important. I need to be better at it, and I realize that I'm not. And like I say, as soon as you say, "Gosh, I wish I had an opportunity to gain some confidence in this area where life will accommodate." So just wait for the other shoe to drop. At some point, I will be having to ask for help. And even though it is uncomfortable, I will survive it, and we'll go forward. But I would love to be better at it. Because I know it's silly, and I don't really have a good answer to not do it. I mean, that's that. At the end of the day, that's something I understand, that I have no good excuse why I don't ask for help. There's no reason. I have people who are willing to help me, and I have to get over the idea that, well, since they're willing to help me, I should never ask them to do anything, because that's how I pay them back for their kindness. Because that's not true. People who want to help, they want to help, and if you don't allow them that, then they do not get what they want out of that situation, because they want to help. And it actually makes you, feel like they're not as important to you. So it's a weird situation. People who offer help want to help, and you kind of know when someone's faking it. Oh, I wish I could help you with that, but I have hemorrhoids, or something. I mean, somebody may really have hemorrhoids, and that may be a valid excuse. I mean, I had hemorrhoids once, and it would have been a valid excuse, because they're not comfortable. Hemorrhoids. Anyway, once again, I have passed the point of babbling like an idiot. So I'm going to let this go. Ask for help. Don't be me. It's really that important. And if you need help, 100% ask for it. It's the right thing to do. All right. We'll catch you on the next one. Fight hard.